like people dying across the whole universe. But that's just my take where she is and why she wasn't there. But yeah,
All right, yo. Breaking bread.
breaking bread.
We out. Tight. What's up, Galen? We'll start you off with the number one question. How many times have you seen Infinity War?
I've seen it twice so far. I saw it once opening night, and I saw it last night in Kips Bay.
So this is the more important question. Well, you already answered it, but how was the experience when you saw it opening night versus when you saw it Kips Bay?
It was pretty similar because a lot of the audience in Kips Bay, I feel like they hadn't really seen the movie yet. This was the first time for a lot of people, the first opportunity they got. So the reactions were a lot similar. At the first time, I mean, it was like a pretty typical like premiere experience. Everyone there was like a really huge super fan. Everyone was on board, knew what was happening. Nobody had to be walked through anything. And that was nice. Like every single tonal beat, I feel, hit the audience. Like they laughed at pretty much every joke. So much so that I caught some more dialogue the second time around because there was sometimes people were too busy laughing or cheering at something. And it didn't ruin it. It enhances the experience for me. Like, I love when people talk during movies and react how they're supposed to react. I feel like it's a testament to a really good film if the audience can't contain their emotion. But, I mean, it was pretty similar, a little bit quieter, but I didn't think it took anything away from
Quieter at Kips Bay?
Quieter at Kips Bay, yeah. The first time I went to go see it was at Union Square, but, yeah, it was louder there.
For me, because the reason I asked that is because I had like 3 different experiences.
Mm-hmm.
The first time I watched it, it was at the theater at 34th Street, the Lowe's Theater.
Oh, yeah.
And like you said, the audience caught on to like a lot of the like subtle, just like little things. It was so crazy that when the previews were playing for Jurassic Park, people were cheering for Chris Pratt just for being there. You know what I mean? So it's like the opening night. It's like a whole new experience for me because this is the second movie I've seen opening night. First one was Black Panther.
Oh, okay.
So this is the second movie I've ever seen in my entire life opening night, and like the experience is different. Like I kind of like it a little more.
Way
People
different.
are way more into it. They laugh at like all the jokes, but not too long to miss the next joke. You know what I mean? So it's weird. But the second time I saw it was in Linden Boulevard, in Queens, and people were way more expressive about how they felt. Yeah, like they were like everybody. There were at least like 10 people that left the movie theater after Black Panther died.
Are you dead ass?
I'm dead serious.
Didn't even see the movie yet.
They walked out, and then I guess they kind of walked back in towards the end just to see the end credit or whatever.
Yeah.
But people were pissed. Like they were definitely pissed. People were pissed at the AMC when I watched it opening night too, and people were screaming like. This one dude, he screamed, "We just got him." We literally just got him.
Yeah.
Like, people were pissed, but like the one in Linden, that was definitely the one where
You think it has to do with like the racial composition of the audience?
It could be that, but at the same time, it's because I think a lot of people expect the villain, quote unquote, to lose.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
when he wins, it's like, what the fuck just
It's a good difference. But I feel like the people that were actually mad were the people, the first MCU movie they saw was Black Panther. And then they just came into this one. It was those people. And they don't really see what's being set up for future events.
That might have been it.
But, yeah, in regards to Black Panther dying, I mean, I really liked that twist at the end. And I liked that the villain actually won in this film.
You like that he died, bro?
Not exactly. I had a funny story, too, thank you for reminding me, about Black Panther dying. I remember after my friend who I went with the premiere, his friend saw the movie, and he said, "Yo, they got Black Panther, bro. We need to go find Thanos tonight. We need to get this nigga." Like, it was funny. But, yeah, I think this speaks to how well Thanos was developed as a villain. And I feel like if you're doing a 2-part series, which not everybody knew that it was, I knew in advance that it was going to be split in half, Avengers 3 and 4, then you need to have, like, that kind of Star Wars, like Empire Strikes Back type time where the villain wins in the first act, and then the second half, the heroes come back.
And that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
Thanos
absolutely.
is supposed to. I was shocked because I thought he would just catch bodies and then lose, but like not lose to the point where we're not gonna see like another movie. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
But it was like he caught bodies and he won.
Oh yeah, and he literally
So-
just got to go retire in the sunset.
Yeah.
But that's good because Marvel obviously has some extremely dedicated fans, and they do all the research into who they think is gonna die. Like even I am guilty of watching trailer breakdowns and stuff like that. And
I tried to stay away from a lot of the trailers.
I can't help myself.
I
Those
watched, like,
trailers are so well done.
This is the thing. I was so excited to see Tony Stark get snuffed.
Oh my god.
I was like, that was just the perfect moment for me. I was like, all right, I gotta stay away from these because I'm just gonna lose it, right? So, the trailers that I feel like for the people that watched a lot of the trailers, I know one of my friends like he loves watching like anything, any like little tidbit that they can put out.
Yeah.
He watches it, and what it does to me, and I feel like for a lot of people, is it makes you want to like kind of put the pieces together, and you end up going crazy until you actually see the movie.
Yeah.
And it kind of gives me anxiety, so I try and stay away from too many trailers.
Yeah.
That's just me.
I mean, a lot of people expected Captain America and Iron Man to be the ones to die because they've been with the franchise the longest, and everyone has been.
He should have went.
No, he'll go in the next movie.
stand
Trust me.
him.
But you can't stand Captain America. Oh my gosh. But I love Chris Evans' performances about Captain America. But him getting stale as a character,
He was a great Johnny Storm too.
Yeah, I have this joke about Captain America where it's like, what can you really break down his superpowers as being like performance-enhancing drugs? Like, think about it. All he did is really take steroids. Come on. But I love Chris Evans as Captain America. I loved him in this movie. But his contract has expired, and he has said that he will be leaving the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So a lot of people expected him to die. Robert Downey Jr., he's been down around 10 years as Iron Man. It's crazy to think about. So a lot of people expected him to go. But then the Russo brothers, the directors, completely flipped the script on everybody, and they killed all of the new characters, which nobody saw coming. And I was pleasantly surprised by. Spoilers, by the way, for all of this, even though we...
Oh, yeah, I have a disclaimer.
Okay, great. But yeah, I'm not sure how the permanent deaths, what exactly the permanent deaths are going to be in regards to this film. I think Heimdall and Loki are definitely gone forever. Gamora, I'm kind of on the fence about. I'm not
Her
sure
being
she's going to
gone,
go.
or-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is coming out in 2020. And like the Guardians movies are like supposed to be like these fun escapist movies from the rest of like the Avengers drama. And you know, you can't really have a Guardians movie just everyone's mourning Gamora, you know.
You think they'll bring in new Guardians?
Perhaps. I think that they'll
'Cause
definitely bring in new
there's
Guardians.
definitely like a little space where like Miss Marvel will come through. The movie
Yeah,
comes out 2019.
but what I think happened is, you know, the end scene right before the end where Thanos is in that weird area with the temple and baby Gamora. I think that is inside the Soul Stone, like the Soul World, and that's where she's being kept. And so once Thanos loses at the end of Avengers 4, they'll be able to free her from that dimension and she'll come back to life. That's my theory, because I just feel like you can't have a Guardians movie where everyone's sad. Even if Gamora isn't alive, like they won't get over it in that little amount of time. We can't have a fun, upbeat movie with them playing the Jackson 5 the whole time we know that Star-Lord just lost his girl.
That does make sense, because I'm thinking like, damn, Gamora's gone. How what are the Guardians gonna do? Because they can't be the Guardians anymore unless they get more people. But I didn't. Once she died, I thought she died, because I think they said like anyone who dies in this movie is dead. Like there's no.
Yeah, but there's obviously nuance to that. The Avengers that faded away at the end are obviously coming back.
Those, yeah, but like
Every single one of them.
I was including Gamora's death as like Loki's
Permanent
death and like Idris Elba's death. I forgot
Yeah,
his character's
I
name.
thought that until I saw the last sequence with her in that strange area talking to Thanos, asking like what the price was, and he said everything. So I think they're kind of alluding that she's alive. And I also try and think of it not only from a story perspective, what makes sense, but also from the real life perspective about the actors and whatnot, and what the direction that they want to take the universe in. And I just can't see them making a Guardians film without Gamora. I just can't see it personally. She's one of the core members.
So what do you think? What was the best part for you in the movie? Like, what were you looking for this movie? I'll tell you
What
what
was I
looking
looking
for,
forward
but I
to?
wanna- yeah.
Okay, you go first. You go first.
So for me, I wanted to see Thanos just smoke everybody, because what it is like everything that leads up to this is supposed to be the villain is the top-notch villain that they've ever fought. This is like them going into like an intergalactic dispute.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So for me, the biggest thing that I didn't like about the Age of Ultron was I thought Ultron was like the most talkative thug we've ever seen.
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
he just kept talking, and like I wanted to see action. The first 5 minutes of Infinity War was Thanos catching two bodies and
Going hand in hand with the Hulk.
winning.
And putting the paws on the
Yes,
Hulk.
and we didn't see Hulk for the rest of the movie. Like, I was so excited 5 minutes in.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
it was perfect for me.
The tone that they set early on was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Because most Marvel movies start with, like, the brilliant music and the dun 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 dun
Yeah.
as the logo is sprawling up. But instead, you get the scared chatter from the Asgardian refugee vessel. And people were frightened. And it's just dead silent.
And then we see
And that
how
tells you-
serious Thanos is about getting these stones.
Exactly. But I completely agree with you. The part that I was looking forward to most actually in this movie was gonna be the different variations of team ups that we haven't seen previously that we were gonna have in this movie. Like, I was very excited about the Avengers meeting the Guardians and how they would splinter off. Like, I very, very, very much liked Chris Hemsworth's performance as Thor in this movie, and I like how they paired him with Rocket Raccoon and Groot. Like, I thought that was an interesting little trio.
The rabbit.
Yeah. And they also had Star-Lord and Iron Man, which I thought really bumped off each other very interestingly, and Doctor Strange and Iron Man. And I'm curious how they're going to go in Avengers 4, because they've created some more interesting pairings. Like, Iron Man is stuck on Titan with Nebula, Gamora's sister. And, like, they've never even had a conversation. So it's going to be interesting to see how they get out of there. Maybe they incorporate Captain Marvel into that. But that's what I was excited about. Everybody coming together and the different team-ups. I wanted to see, like, a big sequence. Like, you remember the first Avengers movie and they had that little circle shot, the circle one shot with all the Avengers in a circle right before the final battle? I wanted to see that with, like, everybody.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure we'll probably get in Avengers 4, something reminiscent of that, because there's, like, a all-together shot like that in Age of Ultron, so it would surprise me if we didn't get a shot like that in Avengers 4. But I wanted something like that. That I was a little disappointed about. Now, touching on your other point, what was my favorite part and what I was most hyped about? Probably the battle in Wakanda.
Which part?
When Thor arrived,
When Thor
I
came
went
in?
crazy.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, I mini went crazy when they all started charging towards, when the shield broke open and the Outriders started charging in.
And Cap
when
and Black
Cap
Panther. Yo.
was booking it. He wanted
Black Panther.
all the smoke.
Everybody
I
was
love
just
that
going,
part.
"Woo!"
Exactly. That man, I recorded that part and I was going crazy in the recording. I said, boom, he's boom, 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 down. And he was only keeping pace with Black Panther, and then they just dove into him. I went nuts.
That was perfect.
That was absolutely perfect. And I feel like the movie did a great job of making good uses of everybody's powers. And I feel like everyone had, like, their little moment, and everyone was able to shine. And that I really liked. And then when Thor showed up, and he swung Stormbreaker, his new axe, and he killed like 100 Outriders, saved Black Panther, saved Captain America, saved Bruce Banner, and they said, "Bring me Thanos!" And he charged out with Rocket Raccoon and Groot. That was probably my favorite part, where I just went crazy.
That was fire. I think,
Absolutely fire.
I think I would put that battle scene as probably the best part of the movie overall. It would be right up there. It would either be that or the Doctor Strange Thanos 1v. Where
Yeah, I mean, I like that too. I feel like this movie was setting up for a lot of like future Avengers films, like the moment where Iron Man says, "All right, kid, you're an Avenger now," and they play that heroic music, and it's like a really long take on Tom Hiddleston's face. I'm like, okay, they're saying that he's gonna be a big part of like the next phase, and also we got to see so much more Doctor Strange's magic, which I really loved. They're establishing his character and his powers so that he can shine in future movies.
Because they're saying how one of my friends was telling me that when he was doing that thing with the Infinity Stone with Dormammu,
Yeah.
I mean the Time Stone with Dormammu, like all those years that he spent, he
Yeah.
was practicing like the serious magic. So people were wondering how he was able to like, because he's way beyond what we saw from the last
movie.
from
Oh,
the
absolutely,
Doctor
absolutely,
Strange
absolutely.
movie. So a lot of people are saying how, yo, like if we get another Doctor Strange movie, it's gonna be on like a way bigger scale. Than
Yeah, he's
what
gonna
we
be
had
going crazy,
before.
and he was.
Yeah.
The best part, if it wasn't Thor in Wakanda, which was, by the way, kept from all the trailers. So kudos to them.
Yeah.
I liked the Wakanda battle more than the battle on Titan because even though that one was against Thanos, it was also brilliantly done. But let me think. Second act. I think that it's gonna have to be. I really enjoyed the stuff with Thor and the Guardians. How about that?
Okay.
Like all the dialogue when Thor first beats the dialogue, all that pithy back and forth. I think that there's some great beats, some great comedic moments, and that's probably the best part for me, other than the Battle of Wakanda. Okay. The ending is also really, really great.
The ending was perfect.
The ending is perfect. It is just so destructive, so quiet. It leaves you feeling empty inside.
It actually, what's funny is when I saw it in Linden Boulevard, people thought Thanos lost when he snapped his fingers, and like he woke up in like I don't know where it was, but we'll go with like the Soul Stone, like wherever it took him, and he was just there, and he looked at his hand. There was no gauntlet. People like, you played yourself, and then like he came back to reality, and the glove was cooked, and everybody was like, he's stupid, this dumb motherfucker. Like they really thought he lost, and then he dipped, and. What's it called? And then we just see Bucky.
Winter Soldier, yeah.
And it's just like Steve, and then he just drops, and I'm like, no. And then what was so beautiful, not beautiful because it was a tragic moment, but
I realize what you're saying. Black Panther?
But before that, when they took the sound out.
Oh yeah.
And it just made it that much more dramatic, and that's when people were just like, oh wait, let me sit back and like look at this shit. And when people started dropping, and then we see T'Challa, that's when everybody's emotions like kicked through in all the theaters I saw it. And I saw it, the Lowe's, one in Linden Boulevard, and I saw it again in Battery Park.
Got you.
So everybody literally just fucking, once the T'Challa scene came through, that was like the one thing that was consistent throughout all the theaters I saw it in. Everybody just had that face like, no.
Yeah.
It was just like shocked.
And that one scene with T'Challa, even though it's like a couple frames, it's brilliantly shot because for the first milliseconds, it looks like Okoye is going to be the one to face. And then it's T'Challa, and it's like, fuck. There's really like no holds barred. And then we go back to Titan, and literally everybody but Tony Stark and Nebula, like, fucking sheesh. Like.
But my theory about that one, though, is I think Doctor Strange, when he was searching through the 14 million possibilities of how they could win this.
He knew it was going to happen.
Yeah, he
knew.
Yeah,
of course.
He 100% knew that. He knew Tony had to be alive, so I want to see however that connects to Captain Marvel, if anything. He knew that. My only thing is, and this is something I was discussing with Andrew, was it's not that I don't want Captain Marvel to be the one. It's just I would love to see one more person. If they could incorporate like one more hero or one more
like a new one?
Yeah, a new one.
Maybe like an Adam Warlock who was teased at the end of Guardians 2.
That's what Andrew was telling me. It might be Adam Warlock. I was thinking, and this is just me being a nerd and like fanning out. Yeah. But it would be really, really dope if we saw like the Silver Surfer come through just out of nowhere. Like
they would have to clear that deal with I'm not sure if I think it's Fox.
It's Fox.
They own the
They've been in the works. Disney's been in the works with business with Fox, I think.
Yeah, they have. They've been trading properties, but they want to make this dumbass Venom movie, which is don't even open that can of worms with me. Cause,
you don't fuck with Venom?
I fuck with Venom. I don't fuck with this new Venom movie.
Why? Because it's not connected, or because
it's not connected and it's nonsense. And let me speak on this real quick. It's obviously just a cash grab by Fox. I think that's who owns the property. It might be Sony. I believe it's Fox though. But it's a cash grab because they don't own all of the characters in order to make that a convincing story. And so it's going to feel, the further this universe gets along, if there's going to be another movie, that there are pieces missing and that they're deliberately tiptoeing where they can to try and make as coherent a property as possible. Whereas they could just sell Venom back to Marvel, make their money back, because they basically can demand wherever they want, because Marvel wants all their properties. So that they'll pay you. Rather than taking this gamble, they could have just sold the property, gotten the money, and then given the fans an actual decent Venom alongside Spider-Man. And that's how I feel transitioning back to Infinity War, is one of the biggest strengths of Infinity War, is that it doesn't feel like anyone is missing from this movie. Like, I read somewhere that they have something like 67 named characters in this movie, which is insane. Like, nobody...
67?
67, if you think about it. I'm not going to try and name all of them because it's going to take up too much of your time, but...
Yeah.
And, like, even side characters from the individual franchises. Like, everyone had someone that was going to come along. Like, Peter Parker had Ned, his best friend from Homecoming.
There's what's his name, Wong.
Wong,
A lot of people
yeah.
are mad they didn't see him the rest of the movie.
Wong, Doctor Strange had Wong.
Yeah.
And Pepper Potts, Tony Stark had Pepper Potts. And Black Panther had Okoye. And a lot of the cast from Black Panther returned. M'Baku, of course, of the Jabari tribe.
He had to be there.
Of course. And a lot of the Dora Milaje are the same ones that were in Black Panther. So I like that as well. Shuri, even if she only had the one scene, only had a couple scenes.
I didn't like her fight scene. I felt like they made her look
one
weak.
Move.
I feel like they made her weak.
She's an untrained 16-year-old.
Nah, still. If she has tech, like, just ready.
Come on now.
She's the tech, like, she's the guy when it comes
against
to...
an interdimensional alien deity?
But the one...
Come on now.
She knows that somebody's coming. And the one thing she has to
is
prepare
a Panther
herself...
gauntlet?
That's what I'm saying. Like, just a Panther gauntlet?
But you gotta figure the alien she was fighting, he was one of Thanos' Black Order. I'm sure that Shuri could handle herself against like a robber or
Not
a
even
thug
handle
or a street
herself like
level guy.
hand to hand, but I'm saying like she's the tech wizard. He just walked in.
The Avengers were having trouble with those aliens. Iron Man, the Hulk, Black Panther were having trouble taking down those aliens. And you expect the untrained 16-year-old girl to be able to take
But
one down?
that one guy, he didn't fight any of them. Like,
he fought the Vision one-on-one, and he was
Vision?
kicking Vision's ass.
but that's because
is arguably
Vision
the
couldn't
strongest
like
Avenger.
fully use his like.
True, but still, what do you want Shuri to do? She can't face either.
I'm saying, bro, like she's the tech wizard. She could have thought of something, like
All right,
throw
man.
up like a.
I'm sure we're gonna see
invisibility
Shuri.
shield, whatever.
I'm sure we're gonna see Shuri more fully developed in the following films.
All right, but what were we talking about before that?
We were talking about my favorite part. We were talking about the ending. Maybe you want to talk about what we were disappointed about?
Yeah, we could do that. What didn't you like? Because there were a lot of things I didn't like, but I feel like that's because I'm just really nitpicky with movies.
I'd love to hear them, but I'll go first. There's two parts that I really didn't like. Only two parts, actually. I didn't like, I feel like Thor's sequence on Never to Lair, building his axe, got a little bit lengthy at the end.
And predictable?
Yeah, I felt like it was a little bit too long, him on Never to Lair, and I liked seeing him, Rocket, and Groot together, but their adventure went a little bit long, because it was happening during the fight on Wakanda, and like, they were still trying to get the Forge started up, and they were fighting on Wakanda. I'm like, can we please, like, go back to that? Like, I kind of want to see it. And also, Peter Dinklage's voice was a little bit wonky in the movie, I feel like. Like, I felt like instead of just taking Peter Dinklage's normal voice and making it deeper, they just wanted Peter Dinklage to talk like this the whole time, and it came off like a little bit ridiculous.
He's supposed to be like a giant dwarf, but we don't know what that sounds like.
Exactly.
That's not a
But
real
to me,
thing.
it sounded a little bit strange.
A little extra?
Yeah.
Okay.
Lastly, Gamora's death scene and Thanos
Was so dragged.
Yeah,
Yo,
right. Like,
They dragged that shit.
oh, it was so
bad.
predictable. Like, she was like unbearably naive when it came to it was obvious he was gonna throw her over and that he loved her. Like, it was obvious that that's where that scene was going.
I was shocked that he like cried.
That was a little bit shocking.
Yeah.
But I'm talking specifically, there's like 4 shots where it's like her dead body, loud ass dramatic music, then it superimposes back to Thanos' crying face, then it superimposes back to her dead body, then it superimposes back to Thanos'
They
face.
could have made that like the quickest fucking transition of all time.
Exactly.
I think what it is, and this is like my issue with when Disney has a hand in a lot of these like storylines, is I think they didn't want people to see her fall and hit the ground.
So they did that.
They did her falling off the mountain, then go back to him. Then they had to go back to her being on the floor.
That's
Then
true.
go back
But
to him.
then they did it twice. Her on the floor, back to him. Her
Yeah.
on the floor, back to him.
And it was dragged.
I
It was-
literally thought of Rocket Raccoon's line, which was one of my favorite lines in the film, where he was like, "That's a little much." When he said Stormbreaker, he was like, "That's a little much."
Yeah.
That's what I said verbatim when that happened.
But what else?
I kind of wish that they might not have been able to fit it in the film, but I would have liked to see Thanos destroying Xandar, I think, and getting the Power Stone. I would have maybe liked to see that. Maybe made that the end credit sequence of part of Thor Ragnarok. I don't know, or maybe one of the pasts. But I would have liked to see Thor on Xandar getting the Power Stone. I mean, not Thor, Thanos, sorry. Getting the Power Stone. I would have kind of liked to see that. I would have also liked to see Valkyrie escape, to see just how they did that. Because they're
I
going to
completely forgot about her until Andrew brought it up. Like, yo, we didn't even see Valkyrie.
I'm curious if they'll get her for number 4. Because they're going to need all the help they can get. And Thor is still alive. So...
I don't know how it's all gonna work. All I know is
let's make that the next segment. Let's talk about where we think the Avengers 4 is gonna go.
well, before we do that, let me just throw in the few things that I was bothered with.
All right, sure. I want to hear you nitpicking.
This
hit
is the
Knicks.
first one that really, really pissed me off. Aside from like the few that you mentioned, because I agree with the Thor scene and the Thanos Soul Stone scene.
Mm-hmm.
So aside from that, my one biggest thing that always bothers me is Tony Stark's thought process, and this is
Oh my gosh.
more so about the writing than the actual like movie itself.
Yeah.
But when he decided to take the fight to Thanos on Titan,
Yeah.
it just bothers me when Tony makes decisions that it just affects everybody else negatively, like for the rest of the movie. So
I understand what you're saying, but is that your only thing, by the way? 'Cause
no,
I'd rather you
no, there's more. But
Okay.
all right, so I'll run through them.
go all through all of them, and now.
So Tony's going to Titan, like it fits with the story and everything. It bothers me when Tony Stark thinks he's right because he was wrong in hindsight, and he probably learned that. But after that one scene with Drax, Mantis, and I think it was Chris Pratt, Star-Lord, when they were on Titan and Thanos just swiped the Power Stone, and
Yeah.
it looked like a Power Ranger scene.
Oh,
where
yeah,
they
when they
all
all
jump
flopped.
back and flop and like
That was a little bit cheesy.
that pissed me off too because Star-Lord is like Star-Lord. Drax, like it just bothered me that they were just put down on the ground for that long during the fight.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
That was dumb. And
So-
how it looked bad.
It looked extra. It just looked stupid. So
The way they slow-moed it. Yeah.
that's the first thing I thought. I'm like, wow, they took a page right out of Power Rangers. Like
It literally looked like the Power Rangers coming.
So, but yeah,
That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
Aside
that's
from the
a
ones
pretty
that
short
you-
list. That's a pretty short list.
Yeah.
I disagree with your point about
Everyone
Tony Stark's
does.
decision making. But let me try and quantify that for you because in the past I disagree. I mean I agree with you in the past about like creating Ultron. Tony Stark has created not only his villains but like just half the total villains in the Marvel universe. Is Tony Stark's fault, though. I feel like they have built up to the decision he made enough in these movies because the collateral damage that a lot of people complained about in the first Avengers, they brought it up in Civil War, and he mentioned that he didn't want. He said he saw what he could do in New York. So I don't know, and he says I don't know if we should take the fight to him or we should go back to Earth. But I would also argue that there wasn't really any disadvantages to going to Titan. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see how it affected them in any negative way.
No, it's
because
great.
half the Avengers were going to die either way. And he didn't, like, going to Titan didn't give Thanos any kind of, like, home field advantage. Like, the Avengers held their own if Star-Lord didn't fuck everything up. But I don't think that there was any disadvantage to going to Titan. And he avoided the collateral damage in New York. Wakanda wasn't destroyed. There were no cities that were destroyed, and that's because they took the fight to them. Versus if they tried to do that in New York, who knows what could happen? I think Tony Stark made the right decision.
My only thing is that he's always felt like he was right.
Mm-hmm.
And in this one particular scene, I was like, no, you should have went back and It's only because I felt like if Doctor Strange was somehow able to be there for the front lines when they did have that one final like showdown in Wakanda,
Yeah.
and Thanos probably would have been there too, because he was expecting what's his name, Squidward, to be there. He was expecting him to be there with the time gem,
Yeah.
right? But if they had all just met back, they would have never met I know they would have never met like the Guardians of the Galaxy or whatever, so it fits with the story, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But the Guardians still would have met up with Thor, and Thor still would have had the power of the Bifrost Bridge.
If he had Stormbreaker.
Yeah, if he had Stormbreaker. So, I mean, I don't know. Honestly, it just bothered me that he made the decision, but it fits with the movie, so I.
How would a Doctor Strange have helped on Wakanda?
I don't know. I feel like it had just been a better fight in general if they were all together. I wanted to see.
I wanted to see them all together as well. But
thing.
I feel like it would have been worse because then the Mind Stone and the Time Stone would have been in the same place.
It would have been way easier to destroy.
Way easier to destroy. How would the Time Stone have helped?
The Time Stone would have definitely not been in Thanos' hands if they all destroyed them together, if they made that decision together.
To destroy what?
To destroy both gems.
Doctor Strange would have never conceded to that.
He wouldn't destroy it, yes, but they could destroy the Soul's Mind Stone and square it up for the Time Gem, like.
And it would have been the same outcome.
I don't know.
The whole showdown on Wakanda was squaring up over the Mind Stone.
But it was best that Thanos had the Time Stone because he could just wave back everything.
Well,
I would rather square up over the Time Gem rather than the fucking Mind Stone.
That doesn't make any sense. But this whole argument is irrelevant because Doctor Strange saw 14,605 different possibilities, and that was the only one. So I'm right and you're wrong.
You're right.
But
you're right.
Beyond that.
He probably saw all that shit too. And was like, damn.
Yeah, can't go to Wakanda. I've always wanted to visit. Oh well.
All right. That's cool. But
Avengers 4?
Yeah. What are your predictions?
I actually have some pretty good insight in knowing where it's gonna go from on-set photos that I've seen.
You got the script?
No, I saw on-set photos. Pretty close.
Okay.
So
of Captain Marvel or of...
No.
Oh, okay.
But they're leaked on-set photos of Avengers 4.
Really?
Major spoilers. I'm not sure if this is going to be the trailer, but major spoilers. It's not death or anything, but major spoilers of the events of Avengers 4. It will involve time travel. Or at least I have strong evidence that it's going to involve time travel, and I'll tell you why. There have been leaked set photos, I can show you, of current Iron Man and Ant-Man talking to Captain America during the first Battle of New York in his original Captain America suit. Right here. This is obviously superimposed together, but these are set photos from Avengers 4.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll notice that Ant-Man and Tony Stark have some strange devices on their hands, which could be how they're time traveling. But that is without a doubt Captain America in his original garb from Avengers 1. So, I think that somehow they're going to go back in time. The Avengers are going to reassemble. They're going to lick their wounds, see what they have to offer. And I made a list of all the Avengers that are left. I think it's Iron Man, War Machine, Captain America, the Hulk, Black Widow, Rocket Raccoon, Nebula, Hawkeye, Ant-Man, and Captain Marvel. 10 of them. That's all they got. Oh, and Okoye, if you count her. That's all you have to rock with to stop Thanos. But they're going to come together. There's going to be a team that goes into the past to try and change the events. I think there might be a team that's trying to find Thanos. And I also think that the team that was killed, the all-killed team, which is, most of the Guardians, Winter Soldier, Falcon, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, that they're going to have to work together on some kind of mission, maybe wherever they are that's dead. Mm-hmm. I don't think that they're just not going to be in the movie. I think they're probably going to go on a mission together because I think that the Marvel wants the audience to see them work together as a team because that's what's going to be like the new team going forward. Like maybe Captain Marvel will link up with the dead Avengers and they'll do something together and be like, okay, the Avengers 4 is going to serve to be as kind of a swan song for the original Avengers team because I don't think it's a coincidence that the Avengers that are alive are the ones from like the original Battle of New York. Not from a storytelling standpoint, but from like but like a Marvel Studio standpoint. That those are the ones that are alive. It's gonna be a swan song to the old Avengers. A lot of them are gonna be hanging up their capes, no pun intended. And then we're gonna get to see the new Avengers do some stuff together, and be like, oh, okay, this is pretty cool, and we're gonna get used to seeing them together. And then that's gonna be the new team we're left with.
Okay. Any other parts? 'Cause I know you said.
One thing that I'm not sure is gonna happen, but happens in the comics, and I would love to see. I want to see Thanos break Captain America's shield.
That would be fire.
That would be
I
fire.
love seeing Cap go through like tragedies. Like
What's wrong with you? You hate Captain America
Captain
and
America.
Iron Man so much.
the Iron Man is different. I like Tony Stark, the superhero. I just don't like the movie Tony Stark.
The movie
Yeah.
Tony Stark, because he makes a lot of stupid decisions and
Yeah.
makes villains and spends.
I mean,
trillions
that's
of
him,
dollars
but
on
it's like
nonsense.
this is like the, I don't know.
I feel you. Yeah, I want to see Captain America suit up again in the Star Spangled outfit. I want to keep the beard though. His look in this last movie was great, by the way.
Yeah.
Jesus,
It's
great
alright.
look.
I like seeing Cap in his shit. You know, the suit, the shield, and he's ready to go hand to hand, whatever.
Yeah, I want to see classic. I want to see all the Avengers suited up in their stuff, and I want to see them all together in a massive shot taking on Thanos. That's what I want to see. But then I want to see Captain America go to one-on-one with Thanos, like Iron Man did. Like Iron Man has one-on-one moment with Thanos, where we fought with him face-to-face, and he got stabbed, obviously. But I want to see Captain America, one drop. I want to see Captain America go out like that, give him a self-righteous speech about how he's going to lose, and then Thanos just smack the shit out of his shield and shatter it. I would love to see that.
That would be fire.
Absolutely. That would be worth the price of admission alone to me.
I can't even argue with that. Like that really would be worth the price of admission. Like I would. Damn, I never even thought.
Now you
of that.
hyped now. Now you hyped to see the movie.
Low-key kind of hype, but
Loki, rest in peace.
So for me, I had a lot of theories. A lot of people have been shooting me some ideas of like what they think might happen too. And something that really caught my interest was one of my friends was telling me about the fight that happened on Xandar.
Yeah.
And that's where the Nova Corps is.
Oh yeah.
Right? So there were a lot of, I guess, on-set photos of Captain Marvel with like the Nova Corps behind her, or like people in like the suit. So I was thinking, because this would be like a perfect precursor to Richard Rider. I don't know if you're familiar.
He's Nova?
Yeah, he's like the Nova.
Yeah.
So that would be like the perfect like precursor to him linking up. Because with me personally, I just don't want it to be specifically Captain Marvel. Because the way the movie ended with Nick Fury, the one person he calls is Captain Marvel. So that puts so much pressure on this next movie that like for me, I think there just has to be one more. Like one more like person, like one more intergalactic like hero. Because I know she's a god, but like,
yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. It all depends on how the Captain Marvel movie goes, and I wouldn't mind seeing someone else introduced. We obviously know Marvel is capable of that, the way they introduced Black Panther and Spider-Man in Civil War, which was a great feat in and of itself. And plus Captain Marvel will be introduced in her own solo movie, and then we're gonna get her in Infinity War. So they definitely could bring someone back. I wouldn't mind seeing Nova. I heard from somewhere on Twitter, some journalist spoke with a Marvel executive, and Nova's appearance in the MCU is in the works. So I could definitely see that happening. I wouldn't mind seeing another intergalactic member join the Avengers, because I want to see more space stuff.
That's what I was talking to Andrew about the other day. I was saying how it would be so dope, because I felt like this movie would be a precursor to when we finally get to like elevate beyond just like Earth problems. You know what I mean? And it'd be so dope to see the MCU on a level like Star Wars, where we get to see people travel from like different parts of like the galaxy, and just like we get to see it all. You know what I'm saying? So it'll be really interesting. That's why I want to see, like, I don't want Captain Marvel to be the one person that we have besides from Thor, like,
And the Guardians of the Galaxy.
and the Guardians of the Galaxy. Well, when we say it like that, it sounds like a lot, but the Guardians of the Galaxy, I feel like they're not really, I wouldn't say heavy hitters, but like it's more.
Oh wow!
For me, it's more like, I don't know how to word it, but
I get what you're saying.
I really want to see like because they don't. However, I say it is gonna sound like fucked up, but like I feel like none of their fights were like the serious fight, if that makes sense. The serious fight.
I feel like that is because of execution, but not because of stakes in the canon of the movie. Because when they were fighting Ronan the Accuser on Xandar, he had the Power Stone, and if he tapped that to the ground, the whole planet is dead. Also, quick sidebar, do you feel like they kind of nerfed the Power Stone? Because in Guardians, it was
people were getting hit by it and like
no, if you touch it,
up.
you die. Yeah, but in Infinity War, people were just getting shot with it. Iron Man blocked it with his little nanobot shield.
I don't know.
Like what? So I mean, I realized that they had to do like a.
What is in that shield? Because this guy
exactly
brought down a fucking moon, and you're blocking it with your hand.
Like, exactly. What is in the fucking? What are these nanobots made out of?
Yeah.
Vibranium, hopefully. But yeah, they had to do a good job like redefining what all of the stones did. And I feel like in this next movie they're gonna have to show more what the Soul Stone does. Mind Stone, we kind of have an idea. It's what used to like brainwash Hawkeye in Avengers 1. So, and like the Ether in Thor 2 and the whole Blood Tornadoes thing, they had to do a better job. I feel like they did a good job showing what the Gravity Stone can do.
Yeah.
But the Power Stone, they got to find good balance with that. But in regards to what you said about Nova, I mean, yeah, I'm cool with that. I'm definitely open for more intergalactic stuff. Right now,
because for me, I just don't want the Guardians of the Galaxy to be the only like intergalactic thing we have. So
no.
Like,
yeah, I want Avengers to be able to go to space. Yeah. I want them to be able to fight.
That sounds fun. Avengers in space.
Sounds fire. It makes you sad that we probably won't get to see like a Captain America and like a stupid Captain America.
He can die. We'll still be fine. You know.
Oh my gosh. Whatever, man.
We'll still be alright. But I definitely want to see that though. That'd be really dope if they can make that connection with whatever happened on Xandar. I want to see what happened on Xandar. I want to see if Captain Marvel is somehow connected to it.
Yeah. Have you heard a lot about the Captain Marvel movie?
Not much.
What have you heard?
I've only heard. I've only seen like the screenshots or like the.
Do you want to hear a little bit about it? Maybe get you excited.
Sure.
It was one of the Marvel movies that I'm most looking forward to in the future, because a couple things you know about it. It takes place in the 1990s.
Really?
So it takes place in the 1990s. So we get young Nick Fury.
Oh yeah, I heard it was young Nick. I heard he was fat too.
He's a little chubby.
Okay.
And he's balding. He's not bald yet. He's balding.
Is it still Samuel L. Jackson or something?
Still Samuel L. Jackson. Okay. He looks great. You should look up the set photos. They're great.
Okay.
And you know who's also going to be in it? Ronan the Accuser from Guardians of the Galaxy. So there's definitely going to be space stuff. And also probably Skrulls. And if that's not enough to get you excited, I don't know what is.
It is, but for like different reasons. For me, it would be because when I hear Skrulls, I think Fantastic Four. And when I think, because all I'm thinking about is, like, when are we finally going to get more people in here? Because I sound greedy as fuck and, like, unappreciative, but
yeah.
He's like, yeah, you definitely are. But I'm just excited to finally see, when you see your heroes on the big screen for the first time.
You want to see all the heroes on the big screen.
You want to see everybody.
It makes me kind of sad that we'll probably not get, like, the Fantastic Four and Iron Man and Captain America at the same time, because I want to see like the Illuminati and all that stuff. You know, the comics like Iron Man, Doctor Strange, Reed Richards, Black Bolt. I want to see all that.
When Doctor Strange started hitting everybody with those gang signs and like copied himself a million, if we could
Shadow Clone Jutsu, yeah, I want to see different variations of fights and all that. I just wish Iron Man and Captain America could stick around, but it's looking slow for them.
Yeah. But what else about the Captain Marvel movie? It was
That's basically all I've heard. Not trying to spoil it too much.
All right.
But yeah.
But see, you see what I'm saying when I don't want her to be that one, because the way they hyped it up, like Nick Fury's about to drop, and the one person he calls is Captain Marvel. I don't know. I'm excited to see it though.
Very excited. Very satisfied with this movie. I'm very happy about Infinity War. I'm gonna cop it the day it comes out on DVD, so I can break everything down. Yeah. Absolutely. I'm going to want to watch this again. I'm going to do the same thing with Black Panther. By the way, how crazy is it that Black Panther is still in theaters while Infinity War is in theaters? Black Panther is still in theaters.
That's what I'm saying. The build-up for Black Panther was too close to the downfall. Like, it was too close to him dying. Like, we just got him. We all love him, and now he's dead.
He's coming back. He'll be back soon. 1 year.
You don't know.
1 year from today, actually.
1 year from today?
1 year from today.
Okay. Well,
We'll revisit it
so.
then.
We'll revisit it again. Galen, thank you. Thank you for coming through.
No problem, Orlando.
Appreciate
Always
it.
a pleasure. Please have me again.
Whenever.
Anything to plug? Follow me on Instagram, Galen, Galen, on the Prowl, Powell, Powell, on Instagram. Hope to be back. Love you all. Thank you again.
All right.